I'm a flight risk. I don't think they're ready for the shit. Take a flight to Cali for the bid. They don't ever wanna see me win. That's a lot of conversation.
Now look, if you anything like me, then I know you've asked this question before. How big is the earth? How big is the sun? How big is my... But anyways, look, we're going to find all that out today. We're going to find out the size of the sun, planets, etc. Now, this comes with a story time. All right. And it has actually a lot to do with this video. So one time I was just chilling, just smoking a little weed. And then all of a sudden I get a perspective change. It's an apple. And I ate it. So with that being said, we're going to be looking at the actual size of things today. We're going to be watching the actual size of things. Like, you thought the sun was yay big, but nah. It's shay big. But anyways, without the cringiness, let's get into this video.
Forget everything you ever thought you knew about our world. Planet Earth? Yeah, it's tiny. And our countries? The maps have been lying to us. It's all totally disproportionate. Some animals are secretly enormous, while once famous cruise ships now just seem like rubber toys in a bathtub. Get ready to have your mind blown, because there are so many things that are completely different to what our minds have come to accept. There's around 7.8 billion people in the world.
7.8 billion, that's so many people.
If you, me, and every one of those others had 19,000 kids, then we'd still have enough room for everyone on this big planet. Crazy, right? Earth is the biggest thing that we experience, and it would take us a whopping 45 hours to fly around.
45 hours in a plane?
Actually, compared to that
planes
giant
are fast
ball
too.
of gas in the sky, yeah, the sun, our planet is just a speck of dust. The sun is bigger than we could ever imagine. It's 864,400 miles across. On a 2D image, you can fit 109 Earths from one end to the other. But in 3D mode, a whopping 1,300,000 planet Earths can fit inside our sun. Still, that's quite hard to fathom.
For real, it is.
A football field is about 360
we don't even know how big this Earth is.
If
so
we stacked them end
the
to
sun
end, over
should be like a million times bigger.
You have the Earth's diameter.
Wow.
Then do that 109 more times, and you've got our glorious sun.
If you paid attention in science class, you will know that the sun is made of
like 333,000 times the Earth kind of heavy. But why do we look at the sun and think that it's so small? Well, we feel its warmth and we see it rise and set in the sky, so we assume it's within close range. That's just not true. In reality, it would take 19 years to fly
19 years
there.
to get to the sun.
If we look at the bigger picture, though, even the sun can be considered tiny.
But on what? Like in
a
rocket, in a plane, in a jet?
Times the mass of the sun.
Gotta tell us everything.
Our minds sometimes play tricks on us and make things appear closer than they really are. Turns out, it's not just our minds that had us fooled. The classic map of the world has fooled us too. Russia is huge.
So you telling me all this time in school,
and the USA
it was a lie?
Big too. Algeria seems kind of small, and Japan is tiny in comparison. But we've been looking at it all wrong.
The fuck?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2D map. How could a 2D map possibly convey a 3D world? The answer, it can't. Unless you're a flat earther, like Kyrie Irving or B.O.B., it's all inaccurate.
I mean,
Japan's not so tiny after all.
If you look up, never mind, I'm not going to say nothing about this.
The same height.
I'm not going to say nothing about it, but
believe it or not, it's bigger than Alaska. Australia is the same width as the USA. And if we took the little old island of Madagascar and placed it on the American East Coast, are you ready for this? It'd cover all of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Vermont, Delaware, Virginia, and North Carolina.
Bro, that's small. I thought you were about to say like the whole country. That's not even that big.
Local wildlife have their own story to tell. We all know the giant emus and powerful
No, we don't.
kangaroos.
I never heard of no emu in my life. Have you ever heard of emu?
Take a look at Roger the ribbed kangaroo. But there's another animal native to Australia that's way bigger than most people realize.
You've heard of emus.
Is a wombat. Cute and small, right? Wrong. Take a peek at it next to this
Holy
human,
shit.
and then pick your jaw up from the floor.
What
These
the
furry creatures
fuck?
can weigh up to 90 pounds. That's
It's like
41
a big
kilograms.
ass rat.
The equivalent of the average 13-year-old human. It would take
that.
2 fully grown border collies to
Fuck
even the scale,
that shit.
or 10 average house cats. Give this video a like if this surprised you, or comment if this is the first time you've ever seen a wombat.
You already said y'all give this
That's
video
actually
a
why
like
we
if it
expect these
surprised you.
animals to be smaller than they are, because we rarely see them. Compared to the more famous koalas and kangaroos, they're seldom found in
Dude, low
international
key, that's
zoos.
like a big
Still cute
ass
though,
rat.
right?
What? No, it's
Our
not.
next guest,
That
on the
shit's
other hand,
scary.
doesn't quite fall into the cute
The fuck?
category. What about
Neither
the
does
huge
the last
category? Oh,
one.
you bet it does. This is the Quetzalcoatlus northropi, also
The
known as
what?
one of the biggest flying animals of all time. It weighed between 440 and 550
Okay.
pounds, or 200 to 250 kilograms, and boasted an intimidating wingspan of up to 45
45.
feet. That's 4 times
Whoa.
bigger than the largest bird that exists today, the
Nigga.
Royal Albatross. When not gliding through the air, Quetzalcoatlus stood at over 16 feet, or 5 meters. That's almost 4 pelicans stacked head to toe. And the only
Fuck.
animal that even comes close is a giraffe. Now that we think about
That's
it,
too
it
scary
kinda
for me,
looks
like a
weird
bird the size
combination
of a
the two, doesn't it?
motherfucking
Next to a
giraffe.
human, it's all kinds of intimidating
Can't
if
do
you
it.
ask us. Paleontologist Mark Witton seems to think that these winged beasts could have flown 10,000 miles non-stop. That's like going from New York to Sydney, hitting max speeds of 80 miles an hour along
Damn.
the way. Of course, this colossal flyer went extinct 66 million years ago,
Then how the
so
fuck-
don't expect to see it anytime soon. While not nearly as old as that, our next fascinating subject has been around for quite a long time, too. And it's actually a world wonder. Sure, Machu Picchu and the Great Wall of China are old, but technically, they're only wonders of the New
For real.
World. We're talking, of course, about the Great Pyramid of Giza, the only wonder of the ancient world that is still standing. There are about 80 pyramids known today from ancient Egypt. The most famous, of course, is the Great Pyramid, dating back to around 2560 BC. At a neck-straining 450
Damn, it kind of looks like it's messing up on the bottom, huh? Like it's like deteriorating type
You
shit.
would need
Deteriorate-
76 Bradley
deteriorating.
Coopers standing on each other's heads. Don't believe us? Check out this photo of a tourist chilling at the bottom.
Holy fuck.
It's bigger than both Big Ben and the Statue
Holy
of Liberty.
fuck.
But of course, most of us haven't seen it for ourselves. And
That shit
since
bigger
it's
than Ben
important for
Wallace.
visitors to capture the whole pyramid to show off to their friends, the majority of photos are from a considerable distance. Making an appearance next,
What the
wondrous,
fuck?
ill-fated RMS Titanic. For all those who didn't shed a tear while watching James Cameron's film, the Titanic was the largest ship ever to set sail when it made its maiden voyage in 1912.
Now see, look, that might have
until
been
it hit
the
an iceberg
main
and sank.
problem
Before
is
falling to
that
the bottom of the ocean, the luxury cruise liner
they probably
measured
didn't have the
882
technology
feet.
back then
That's 269 meters in
that
length,
we do
and
now,
could hold
obviously.
3,547 people.
But nigga,
That's
I feel like
insane. Especially
that was
for
too
over a
big
century ago.
for
It
the
was
time
so
that it was.
impressive and tragic
You
that
feel
many
me?
of us would assume that no ship
Being
of
that
its
the
size
technology
was ever
wasn't
built
that
again.
advanced as it is
But,
today.
oh, those people would be
Never
so
know.
wrong. Next to Royal Caribbean's new Symphony of the Seas cruise ship, the Titanic looks like a teeny tiny tugboat. Symphony is also
Hold on,
twice as
hold
high
on.
and twice as wide as
Hold
the
on.
Titanic, and capable of fitting 8,461 people. So whether you see the Titanic as small or the Symphony of the Sea as gigantic, it's dramatic either way.
Damn, that
It
shit
doesn't
did
just
blow my
have to be
mind. And y'all
world
seen
wonders
that?
or ships
I
that
did not
baffle
know
us.
that shit. What the
Sometimes
fuck?
the size of everyday objects can be misleading too. Take, for example, the humble yet necessary road sign. Who here has ever looked up at one of those green signs when driving and thought, how did that
For
get
real, that
there in
shit-
the first place? It turns out they're made in giant factories, and when we say giant, we mean it.
Hey, I
You
never
see,
thought
they
about
look
that. Like,
small
how is that
to us
shit
on the
made?
road because we're
Big
usually
ass
hurling
sign.
past them at
Big
light
ass
speed,
sign.
and they're deliberately made to be seen from a distance. In reality, when we catch them up
fuck?
close, they are freaking huge. You see what we're
Damn,
talking
that's
about?
like the size of
A sign
at
on a
least 30
freeway
people. That
spans
shit's
2 or
huge.
more lanes can easily be larger than 25
25
feet.
feet.
Even the one-lane signs
Okay,
are
why
wider
was
than
this
most
on the
cars.
list?
Oh, curious as to why they're always green?
Nigga, this shit is so.
Traditionally,
This is so
green
much
is
smaller
more
than
visible
number
and
10.
less
Why is
distracting to
this
motorists at
on
nighttime.
the higher
From
rank
concrete jungles to actual ones, let's take a look at the real king
than
of the
number
jungle,
10?
the gorilla. We know that these animals are large compared
If
to
it's smaller.
chimpanzees, orangutans, and those bright-butted baboons. But the gorilla's actual size might just shock some of you, especially the eastern lowland gorilla, the
Oh.
largest of the 4 subspecies. They weigh twice as much as the average human.
Yeah,
and
that's
are
a nigga
taller
you do
than
not
Jon
want to fuck
Snow
with right
himself,
there.
Kit Harington, when standing
Somebody
on their
you
rear
do not
legs.
want to fuck
And
with right
check
there.
out those
That's for
massive
sure.
hands. So why are they so much bigger than we realize? Well, first off, be honest. How often have you been face to face with a gorilla? Exactly. Plus, even if you've ever seen one in a zoo or even in the wild, they would have either been hanging out on their backside, hunched over, or walking around.
How would you
on all
ever
fours.
come in
Swimming along next is the menacing,
contact with a
potentially
damn
misunderstood anglerfish, made famous
what is
by
that shit
luring
called?
in
A
Marlin
gorilla.
and Dory
What are
with
you
her
doing
glowing
out there
dorsal fin in Finding
to-
Nemo. The anglerfish hangs out in the dark depths of the oceans. For precisely that
Fucking
reason,
piranhas.
humans seldom see them face to face. And if they're photographed by divers, the fish is usually all alone. So we can't compare it to anything we know. Therefore, you, I,
We don't know how
everybody
really
else
big it
remains
is.
entirely clueless to the fact that these guys are way bigger
For real.
than we think. So how big are we talking? Up to 3.3 feet in
Damn,
length
that shit's
and weighing up
huge.
to
It's like,
70 pounds. That's
nigga, a
half the
fish
length of the bed you sleep on, and almost as heavy
with
as the
teeth
wombat
like
we
that,
saw
I
earlier.
am good.
Want to find out what's hiding deep in the mysterious depths of the Marianas Trench? Check
No.
out our video, linked in the description. Over to Europe now, where
you?
some pieces of art, no matter their size, have larger-than-life reputations.
playing.
On one end of the spectrum, the Mona Lisa is underwhelmingly small, surrounded by gawking,
pretty cool.
photo-happy tourists. On the other hand, one infamous unclad statue is impressively large. No, not in that way. Yep,
Come on now,
Michelangelo's
bruh.
David. In the Galleria
See, look, why is
dell'Accademia
this,
in
like,
Florence,
historic?
Italy, our 5-century-old
A
David
nigga
stands
just
at
look. A
17
nigga
feet
just
high.
no
As you
disrespect,
can
but
see,
somebody
this
just
makes us
made a
regular-sized
body that was
humans feel
naked.
pretty
Why
darn
is
small.
that
If you're
so
like us and
famous?
didn't realize how enormous this statue really was, give the video a quick like. But why are we all surprised? It comes down to the photos we look at. Tourist photos, mainly. In order to get the entire piece of art in the frame, tourists need to step
For
back.
real, that's crazy.
And from further away, voila. He and
Are the
it
same size.
appear smaller.
Or pure smaller,
Which
whatever.
of these things surprised you the most? Let us know. Then check out
All
one of
right.
our other videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you
So,
next time.
The one that surprised me the most was that boat. Because I was about to say, like, I thought it was going to say the Titanic was the biggest boat until it said, the Titanic is nothing compared to this. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? That shit's humongous. And y'all seen my reaction live, and I'm telling you, I don't fake reaction. So that's another plus when you come to this channel. With that being said, let me know if you fuck with the video. If you do, comment, subscribe, like. You don't have to if you don't want to. At least you came and stopped by. I'll see you later. But with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all.
I'm a flight risk. I don't think they're ready.